The NCCAA and Bob Jones University promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives are grounds for removal from the side of competition and other disciplinary actions. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Conestee Park for today's game featuring the Toccoa Falls College Screaming Eagles and your Bob Jones University Bruins. Let's first meet the starting lineup for the visiting Screaming Eagles. Leading off and playing center field, number 7, Charlie Compton. Batting second, playing left field, number 12, Connor Merritt. Hitting third and playing designated hitter, number 75, Cole Smith. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 32, Ryan McCarron. Hitting fifth and playing right field, number 25, Peyton Powell. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 34, Braden Alexander. Hitting seventh and playing shortstop, number 1, Will Miller. Batting eighth and playing catcher, number 9, Isaac Ravitas. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 6, Davis Jennings. On the mound for the Screaming Eagles, number 35, Kason Rhodes. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your BJU Bruins. Leading off and playing catcher, number 19, Cody Kirkpatrick. Batting second and playing right field, number 17, Kyle Prowse. Hitting third and playing third base, number 10, Conley Berg. Batting cleanup and playing designated hitter, number 15, Bryson French. Hitting fifth and playing first base, number 42, Evan Johnson. Batting sixth and playing center field, number 5, Mac Carroll. Hitting seventh and playing second base, number 3, Sam Gonzalez. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 23, Angelo Gomez. And batting ninth and playing left field, number 2, Zay Brandt. On the mound for the Bruins tonight, number 35, Mac Ritter. And now it's at this time we ask that you please stand for a word of prayer, followed by our national anthem. Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for the great weather you've given us tonight. Thank you for the opportunity today to fellowship through the avenue of baseball. Please keep everyone safe, and may everything we do tonight be for your glory. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, it is March. That means madness brought by grit and confidence and doing anything possible to win. So let's bring the madness to Conestee Park. My name is Trenton Goldsmith, and I'll be with you here all weekend long as the Bruins are hosting South Region rival Toccoa Falls College for a weekend series. Tonight we have a 1-9-inning game, followed by tomorrow a doubleheader in which both games will be 7 innings long. The starting lineup for tonight for the Bruins. Catching, number 19, Cody Kirkpatrick. Playing right field, Kyle Prouse. Third base, Conley Burke. DHing tonight, Bryson French again. First base, Evan Johnson. Center field, Matt Carroll. Second base, Sam Gonzalez. Shortstop, Angelo Gomez. Left field, Zay Brandt. On the bump tonight, number 35, the electric Mac Ritter. He's looking to improve his ERA. Last couple of games, he's taken a little hit. His ERA coming in tonight is 10.05. Again, last couple outings, giving up a few more earned runs than he would like. But tonight, he has a chance to make that go down. He's facing off against probably one of the best hitters in all the NCCAA right now. Leading off for the Screaming Eagles, Charlie Compton, the center fielder tonight for Toccoa Falls. Takes that pitch inside. It's a 1-1 count now. Compton is a senior from Lexington, South Carolina, Northside Christian Academy. He's batting .476, on base percentage of .554, 34 RBIs on the season. That is just unreal. But now he's facing a 1-2 count early in this game. Retiring Compton here early for Ritter would make him go crazy. Here's the 1-2. Got him swinging. What a way to start for Mac Ritter. That is exactly what the Bruins want to see out of Ritter all night long. In talking to Kyle Morrison earlier today, the goal for the day for Mac Ritter is go as long as you possibly can, show your stuff, and throw some strikes. Now up, Connor Merritt, the right-handed batter, left fielder, coming in with a .395 batting average. Compton is just far and beyond all hitters on this team, even with a .396 average of Merritt. It's crazy to think that Compton still hits the ball 10% more of the time than Merritt does. Merritt's already facing a 2-strike count. Ritter strikes him out looking. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts for Mac Ritter to begin the evening. Now facing the designated hitter, Cole Smith. A junior from Oconee, Georgia, swings through that for strike 1. Ritter is absolutely in the zone. Outfield shifts over for Smith. Here's the 0-1. Hard grounder. That one's going to get through to right field. Kyle Prouse will gather it and keep Smith at first. So a 2-out single for the Toccoa Falls Screaming Eagles. Ryan McCarron up next, the first baseman tonight, number 32. Junior from Ball Ground, Georgia. McCarron comes in with the second most at-bats, second to Compton, with 80 at-bats, batting .325. Again, excellent hitting on this Toccoa Falls team. That one's a hard grounder down the first base line, but it'll go foul before it hits first base. What goes wrong for both of these teams so far this season is the amount of free bases given up by the defenses and pitchers. So I'm talking to Coach Morrison this morning. He said whoever gives up the least amount of free bases will probably win the series, if not tonight, starting tonight, winning this game. That's a ball in the dirt. Very rarely will you see anything get past Cody Kirkpatrick. It's going to have to skip off home plate or something. to lose his rhythm. Kirkpatrick is a brick wall behind home plate. That one's hit foul. We got a 2-strike count, so you know what that means. The clapping from the Bruins dugout will begin. It's a 1-2 count. Runner on first, 2 down in the top of the first inning. Matt Ritter, the strike out the side. Got him swinging. All 3 outs are 3 strikeouts, and Ritter is pumped up. That's what they want to see. Let's see if the Bruins can translate that energy to their bats. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning, tied at 0-0. We're back for the bottom of the first inning, and pitching for the Screaming Eagles tonight is number 35, Kason Rhodes. So it's a battle of number 35s on each team. Rhodes is the same kind of energy as Ritter does, can get pumped up very easily. He's coming in with a higher ERA of 14.00 in 9 innings pitched. He has walked double the amount of batters he has struck out. But again, when he gets going and does his job. Leading off is Cody Kirkpatrick. New spot for him in the lineup tonight. I was teasing Coach Morrison this morning and asking why he hasn't been in the top of the order before. I mean, he gets on base 50% of the time, so why not? He hits that one. It's a chopper. Grabbed by Miller. Miller will not make the throw, and that's exactly what they want. Leadoff runner for the Bruins. And he's going to get a courtesy runner, as he does all the time. It's Sam Gearhart coming in to run for him. So leadoff single for Cody Kirkpatrick. And that's exactly why he's in on the top of the lineup now. Kyle Prouse coming up behind him in the 2 spot. So he just moved down a spot from his normal spot in the batting order. Again, Prouse has been very impressive this season. Has really come alive, batting .314. Last couple of seasons, Prouse has been kind of quiet for the Bruins, but this junior season has been great. That pickoff moves, dribbles away from McCarron at first base, but not far enough away for Gearhart to turn his gears and go to second base. Kyle Prouse is an excellent base hit hitter. Not a ton of power, but he knows how to make contact. And again, that's all the Bruins want. He might actually lay down a bunt here. First pitch to Prouse, he will square to bunt. He brings it back for ball 1. And actually, the umpire called that a strike. So it's an 0-1 count. Let's see if the call stays the same. It was a new one from Coach Morrison at third base. Again, with a 1-strike count, might square to bunt again. Checking Gearhart back. Not successful. Still an 0-1 count between Rhodes and Prowse. Prowse squares again. Prowse lays it down. That is perfect. That's all you got to do. And he's going to get the first safe. Rhodes couldn't get out of his glove to flip it there. What a perfect bunt from Kyle Prowse. That was definitely getting Gerhardt to second base, but Rhodes just struggled on the relay to flip it over to first base, and there's two leadoff runners for the Bruins. So still no outs for Conley Burke. Again, this is another position where Burke might lay down a bunt to move runners to second and third, but it's Conley Burke. He's one of the greatest hitters in Bruins history. So what will happen here? Still no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Burke will not square to bunt. Instead, he'll look at strike one. McCarron's still playing pretty far in at first base just in case. New call from Coach Morrison. Here's the 0-1. He'll square to bunt, lays that one down perfectly. Will he get to first base? He will! So a leadoff single by Kirkpatrick, back-to-back sacrifice bunts that didn't sacrifice anything. The bases are loaded. The energy is so high right now for the Bruins. It all started with Ritter getting 3 strikeouts in that top of the first, and now followed by loading the bases, none down in the bottom of the first. Bryson French is batting DH tonight. French swings at that one, big cut, fouls it back. What a start this would be if the Bruins can get a few runs here. Rhodes already in some early trouble. Here's the 0-1. Grounded. Jennings gets it, flips it to second, over to first, and that's exactly what the Screaming Eagles wanted. French hits into a double play, does score a run. Bruins lead 1-0, but now 2 down with only 1 runner on third base. Honestly, the most ideal situation Toccoa Falls could have had. Brings up Evan Johnson playing first base tonight. Prowse is on third. That ball is outside. It's going to be a 1-0 count. They've been working with Johnson to shorten his swing a little bit over the last couple of weeks to try to find more contact. That's a chopper. Is that going to be fair? It is. Can he make the throw all the way across the diamond? He's there in time. The big fella moved down the line. It's 2-0. Quality play by Alexander at third base. But the throw did not get there in time because Evan Johnson was moving. And now Matt Carroll looking to have the same kind of weekend this weekend as last. Hit 3 RBIs in each game last weekend against Alice Lloyd. Big cut there. Carroll has a sneaky amount of power. Not the tallest guy. But he can put something in the outfield with just a simple swing. Here's the 0-1 count. Nope, they check back Johnson. Kason Rhodes does have a quick pickoff move. Would not be surprised if he catches the Bruins leaning on a couple. And now the 0-1 count to Carroll. Looks at that one outside. Johnson jumps on it. Johnson will get a stolen base. He's safe. Great read on the bases by Evan Johnson to see that ball in the dirt all the way through. 1-1 count, runner in scoring position. This is when Carroll's at his best. Rhodes delivers. Outside. Compton has a lot of space behind him in center field. The 2-1. Ripped. Jennings can't gather it. Can he beat out the throw? He can. The runners continue to go down the line. Hustle every time, and the Bruins are making Toccoa Falls work for their outs. And Isaac Ravitas, the catcher, is going to call for a conference on the mound. Screaming Eagles have to clean up their infield. That's 4 hustle 90s for the Bruins so far in this first inning. If you don't know what that is, it's basically an infield play where they beat out the throw. I had a coach one time that rewarded our team Capri Suns for each hustle 90 we had in the game. Now batters on the corners. Sam Gonzalez up. Still 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Bruins would love to have a couple more. Carroll might take off. And Rhodes felt like he might also. Checks him back. Again, that's a quality pickoff move from Rhodes. Very quick with that. And he's on target with the throws. And there goes Carroll. They're not going to throw. Huge moment here for Sam Gonzalez. 2 runners in scoring position. Carroll with speed on second can score on a base hit. If Gonzalez can get it to the outfield, it might be 4-0. Here's the 2-0. That's a dribbler right back to Rhodes, and Rhodes this time has no problem flipping it to first. So he gets out of the first inning, but the Bruins score 2 runs on 5 singles. Love to see it. 2-0 headed to the top of the second. Peyton Powell leading off the top of the second inning for the Screaming Eagles. There's a dog somewhere in the park that is not happy. I'm hearing that a lot through my headset. First pitch to Powell. Outside for ball 1. Mac Ritter had the best first inning with 3 strikeouts, only allowing 1 hit with 0 damage. That one is swung through by Powell. Ritter has to stay in the zone as long as possible. Powell, the junior from Hartwell, Georgia, facing in a 1-1 count. Swings through that one, 1-2 count, another count where Mac Ritter gets ahead early. You know his success on 2 strike counts so far. Can he do it again? Here's the 1-2. Popped up out of play. Powell stays alive. Ritter delivers the 2-strike again. Could again the chase outside. That's a good spot. The 2-2 count. The battle continues. Ritter delivers. Again, fouled off by Powell. Two count again. Can Ritter get him here? Can't. In the dirt inside. So Powell, patient at bat, forces the full count. Powell bats .300 on the season. 3 home runs, has power to get it out. Here's the 3-2. Gets him swinging. He did. Powell doesn't think so, but he definitely went through. Another strikeout for Mac Ritter. Braden Alexander now up. Trying to find better luck than all his teammates except Cole Smith. Ritter is dealing. Here's the first pitch. Finds an outside corner for strike 1 against Alexander. That one's a little bit too far outside. 1-1 count. It appears Alexander's the only freshman in the lineup tonight. Swings through that one. And another 2-strike count early where Ritter gets ahead. Here's the 1-2. Outside. I think he knew that was going outside as soon as he released it. Follow through was not there. Still ahead in the count. Ritter delivers. Fouled off. Alexander stays alive. It's a 2-2 count. What can Ritter do? That one will go foul. So Alexander continuing to fight just like Powell did. Here's the 2-2 again. Ritter wins another battle, strikes him out. Kirkpatrick had to get him on a throw. It was a drop third. But that's number 5 for Mac Ritter. Will Miller now, the shortstop for Toccoa Falls. First pitch to Miller, the lefty, fouled back into the net. Miller has struck out 11 times this season. Trying to avoid making it 12. The 0-1. Up in the air for ball 1. The 1-1 count. Fouled off. And Ritter gets ahead again. Will Miller is on deck, the catcher. Or excuse me, Isaac Ravitas is on deck, the catcher. Has his pads on just in case. 2 down, 1-2 count in the top of the second. Ritter looking to retire the side. That one's hit high in the air to right field. Kyle Prouse tracking it, and Kyle Prouse grabs it for the first non-strikeout out of the game for the Bruins. 3 up, 3 down. Mac Ritter's dealing. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Bruins still up 2-0. Angelo Gomez leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Bruins. All the Bruins did last inning was hit singles. It's one of the messages Morrison's been preaching to his team all year long. You don't need to crush the ball, just make contact and run. Just like that. Oh, barely goes foul. Bruins have worked endlessly the last couple of weeks to just get your hands through on your swing. And it's all it really need to do to get a ball in play. That one's hit really high left field. Drifting foul. That would have ended up fair if it landed. Merritt on the line gets it for out number 1. That thing was high. Merritt had to be careful to not run into the bullpen out there. So 1 down here for Toccoa Falls. Brings up Zay Brandt at the 9-hitter. Top of the order already on deck with Cody Kirkpatrick. Brandt takes strike 1. Rhodes going quickly. Gets Brandt swinging. 0-2 count early for Rhodes. Zay Brandt batting .255. Here's the 0-2 from Rhodes. Up out of the zone for ball one. Again, Rhodes only 7 strikeouts on the season, has walked 13. Here's the 1-2. Hit the center field. Compton going back on it. Compton got it for out number 2. So 2 pretty solid hits for the Bruins. Just stuck up in the air a little bit too long. Outfielders got to him. 2 down for Cody Kirkpatrick. Cody led off with a single. Looking to start a 2-out rally. Here we go. Rhodes finally taking his time, and miscommunication with Ravitas back behind the plate. Steps off and start again. Weird looking cut by Kirkpatrick. His head was looking over to left field, and it goes off the end of the bat and goes towards right field. I think he may have just misstepped on that front foot. It's no 1 count. Turns on that one too early. So now an 0-2 count. Cody Kirkpatrick trying to stay alive. The 0-2 from Rhodes. Outside. And now the 1-2. Gets Cody Kirkpatrick swinging. What a rebound of an inning for Kason Rhodes after the damage done in the first. So we head to the top of the 3rd inning, still 2-0. Mac Ritter is going to look to continue dealing here to start the top of the 3rd inning. Isaac Ravitas, the catcher, up for Toccoa Falls. And it's Davis Jennings on deck, and then back to Charlie Compton at the top of the order. It's a 1-1 count. Ritter trying to find the zone again. Here's the 1-1. Got Ravitas thinking about it, and home plate umpire said, "You went." So it's a 1-2 count. Another 1-2 count from Ritter. And another strikeout. Cody Kirkpatrick just has to make the throw. And he does. Six strikeouts so far for Mac Ritter. And now Davis Jennings. Jennings, a sophomore from Clarksville, Georgia. Second base today. Looks at strike one. Ritter already ready to go. Delivers the 0-1. Grounder to Johnson. It stays fair. Has to flip over to Ritter. Ritter gets it, and he misses the base. No, he doesn't. He missed the first time. Readjusted and found it for out number 2. Good hustle by Ritter. Good flip by Johnson. There's 2 down in the top of the third. Back to the top of the order, Charlie Compton. Struck out in his first at-bat. Does not strike out a lot. It was only his 8th strikeout on the season. Again, bat's almost 500. Takes ball 1. The 1-0 to Compton. Great pitch by Ritter. Finds the outside corner. 1-1 now. Fouled back into the net. Ritter's ahead again. The 1-2 count to get out of the inning. Good pitch, good spot, and good take by Compton to not go after the high fastball. Now a 2-2 count. Ritter shakes off the first pitch, ready to go. Just barely outside. Looked good from the dugout. Everyone in the Bruins dugout wanted it. But Compton forces a full count. Here's the 3-2. Got him swinging. 7th strikeout of the day for Mac Ritter. Gets out of the 3rd inning. Kyle Prouse leading off for the Bruins in the bottom of the third inning. Still 2-0 ball game. Rhodes still on the mound. Prouse squares the bunt. Can't get it down. So it's a 0-1 count early. Prouse takes that one outside, 1-1 count. I mean, with the exception of the 2 runs, Kason Rhodes is pitching fantastic for Toccoa Falls. That one's a chopper down the middle. It'll get through. Prouse with a leadoff single. The Screaming Eagles infield made several big mistakes that led to those 2 runs. Again, obviously, it's a big hustle by the Bruins to get down the first base line, but a couple plays could have erased those 2 runs. So Kason Rhodes is doing his job. He's throwing strikes, letting the Bruins hit it, letting his defense make some plays, but those plays haven't been there. Prouse leading off first base. Pickoff move. Again, quick, but Prouse is quicker. Conley Burke reached on a bunt in his last at-bat. Meant to be a sacrifice bunt to get runners over to second and third. That worked, but he also got the first base. He might square the bunt again. He does. Prouse goes anyway, and Prouse gets the second in time. No need for a sacrifice bunt anymore. It's a 1-1 count. Good pullback by Burke. So now Burke has the green light to swing. McCarron's still playing pretty far in at first base. But I don't see Burke bunting anymore. Here's the 1-1. Great pitch by Rhodes. 1-2 count. Burke has to battle. The 1-2. Ripped down the third base line. That gets past the diving Alexander. Prouse rounding third, headed home. He'll score. Burke might push 3. No, he'll stop at 2. An RBI double for Conley Burke makes it 3-0. Bruins' energy is high. And Bryson French now up to keep it high. Hit into a double play last time, got an RBI. Has another chance for another RBI here with Burke leading off second base. That one, wild pitch over the head of French. He was squaring the bunt, but again, no need to bunt anymore. Burke advances to 3. Again, Coach Morrison said whoever gives up the least amount of free bases will win this game, and so far that's the Bruins. Several free bases given by Toccoa Falls. Still no outs in the bottom of the third inning. The 1-0. Great pitch by Rhodes. Straight makes it a 1-1 count. The 1-1 to French. French takes it for strike 2. Found the upper corner of the strike zone. Same situation as Burke. 1-2 count. That one's inside. Ravitas was lined up to try to get that on the outside of the strike zone. But the release point from Rhodes sends that inside towards the feet of French. French is a catcher, knows the strike zone really well, and will battle as much as possible. Here's the 2-2. In the dirt, that one gets away. Burke starts running. Burke's gonna get home. "4-0 in the third inning. Full count, none down. French is still battling. Coach Morrison says, calm down, just get on base. That's all the message is. The full count from Rhodes. That's high and out of the zone. French takes first base. Still no outs. French now on first base, brings up Evan Johnson, who was one of the hustle 90s in the first inning. First baseman can move. Johnson stole second, too. First pitch to Johnson. Big cut. There is action in Toccoa Falls bullpen. A lefty is warming up. Pickoff move. Unsuccessful to get French. Another pickoff move to try to get French. Gets back in time again. Count is still 0-1. Bunted by Johnson. Johnson's moving again. Johnson's going to get another hard 90. He's hustling down the line today. That gets the dugout going crazy. Brings up Matt Carroll now. Incredible start for the Bruins offense tonight. McCarron playing in at first base. Carroll doesn't square up, looks at strike one. French at second, Johnson at first. None down. Oh, 1 count. The bunt is laid down. Carroll hustling down the line. Won't beat the throw, but advances both runners. It did his job. That's exactly what he needed to do. Runners now on second and third for Sam Gonzalez. Only one out. Big chance here for the Bruins to grow their lead. Big leadoff by Johnson on second base. That's way outside for ball one. Both corners playing in for Toccoa Falls infield. The 1-0. Now a 2-0. Same spot. Gonzalez doesn't bite. I've never seen Coach Morrison move so much on third base. You can tell he has a lot of energy right now, matching the rest of this Bruins squad. The 2-0 from Rhodes. Gonzalez takes out one for strike one. Now a 2-1 count. That one's going to hit Gonzalez, and that's going to load the bases. Bases now loaded for Angelo Gomez, who had great contact in his first at-bat, hit one right in the corner. It's probably about 10, 15 feet from going out and leaving the yard. So Gonzalez now on first base. Johnson still on second. French still on third. One down in the bottom of the third inning. Corners in. Middle infield wants a double play. First pitch to Gomez. Gomez is going to square a bunt. He's going to lay it down. Not going to be fair. Trying a suicide squeeze. That would have been crazy. Aggressive play calling by Coach Morrison. It's an 0-1 count. Will he square again? He will. Way outside. Plays like this are dangerous. The runners have to be on their toes. Because if a pitch like that happens and the runner takes off, that's a free out. One count. Gomez, big cut, makes it a 1-2. Changing the approach. Making the Screaming Eagles infield keep guessing. Rhodes needs an out here. It's a 1-2 count. Barely outside for ball two. Good eye by Gomez. I would have had a really hard time not swinging at that. Great spot by Rhodes. Now a 2-2. It's a battle. Gomez high and out of play. Two again. The battle continues between Gomez and Rhodes. Bases still loaded. One out. Outside. Gomez forces a full count. A walk will score a run. Gomez looking for a strike here. The full count. Outside. And Rhodes walks in a run. It's 5-0. And that might be the night for Kason Rhodes. He's going to have a meeting on the mound. No signal toward the bullpen yet. It looks to be just a conversation. So now Gomez on first base. Gonzalez on second base. Johnson on third base. And Zay Brandt up to the plate, ready to hit. And burst this thing wide open. The ball stays in the hands of Kason Rhodes. Screaming Eagles trust them to get out of the inning. That might be very difficult. Another double play by Toccoa Falls would be incredible for them to get out of the inning without giving up any more. Let's see what's going to happen. The first pitch. A bunt by Brandt. The scoop is there in time. Great scoop by McCarron from charging from first base. Again, another aggressive play call. The bunt just didn't go far enough or hard enough. Made the play a little easier. Brings up Cody Kirkpatrick. Struck out in his last at-bat, singled in his first at-bat. Bases are loaded. Infield back to their normal spots, 2 down in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ball outside, 1-0 count. Kirkpatrick trying to find a good pitch to drive. Gomez is nearly halfway to 3rd. That one finds a sliver of the outside corner for strike 1. 1-1 count. Rhodes going a little bit slower now. Here's the 1-1. Up out of the zone, 2-1 count. Again, no one on this Bruins team knows the strike zone better than Cody Kirkpatrick. Been catching for years. This is his 3rd year on the Bruins. 2-1 count. Hit in the air. It will not leave the yard, and McCarron will grab it. That is not what Kirkpatrick wanted, but the Bruins still get a couple more runs. It's 5-0. We're headed to the top of the 4th inning. It's Connor Merritt leading off the top of the 4th inning for Toccoa Falls. Ritter's still on the mound, looking to find his rhythm after a longer half inning. Delivers for strike 1. I don't think he's lost it. 7 strikeouts so far for Ritter. Looking to make it more here in the top of the 4th inning. Merritt swings to that for strike 2. The 0-2 count, Ritter's ahead already. For strikeout number 8. Couldn't get it. Good block by Kirkpatrick, though no one's on base. The 1-2 count. Got him looking for strikeout number 8. Now Cole Smith. The only person on the Screaming Eagles team with a hit tonight. Hit a single in his first at-bat. Big shift by the outfield for the Bruins. Or more, I would more say just Zay Brandt in left field. Lots of space to Zay Brandt's right. Early 2-0 count. This might be the first 2-0 count all night for Mac Ritter. Now the 2-0. Misses high, 3-0 count. Ritter going quickly just to throw a strike. Here's a 3-0. In there for strike 1. He knew Smith was probably going to take that, so he wasted no time. He just threw a fastball down the middle. The 3-1 count now. Strike 2. Smith thought that was inside, and Ritter forces a full count. Trying to come back in this at-bat. The full count. Hit foul. Solid contact by Smith to stay alive. Infield shifted as well. Gomez close to second base, and Gonzalez over towards first. Here's the full count again by Ritter. Smith stays alive again. The full count again. And the battle is done. Ritter wins it again. Strikeout number 9. 2 down. Now McCarron's up. Another lefty. So the Bruins defense stays put. He struck out in his first at-bat. Slap down the third baseline. Will go foul, so an 0-1 count early. Goes back into play, so Brandt's going to go get that in left field and throw it in. The 0-1 from Ritter. Just misses the zone for ball 1. 1-1 count. Another close miss by Ritter. 2 straight great pitches. Just out of the strike zone. 2-1 count. Fouled off near the Bruins dugout. And now Ritter has another 2-strike count. Looking for strikeout number 10. 10 strikeouts in 4 innings would be unreal. The 2-2 from Ritter. Out of the zone, another full count. 3-2, 2 outs to get out of the inning. Ritter delivers. Another close miss. 3 of those balls were right there. So McCarron's going to take his base with 2 outs. First walk of the night. So that strikeout to walk ratio is looking real good. Brings up Peyton Powell. The 3rd straight lefty in their lineup. He struck out in his first at-bat as well. Down the first base line. It's no 1 count. Toccoa Falls has been pulling a lot of pitchers to start tonight. And pulls another one. 0-2 count. So after giving up a walk, Ritter has an 0-2 count against Powell. Checks Powell back, or checks McCarron back, excuse me. There's an 0-2 count from Ritter. Hit out of play. It's another 0-2 count. Ritter looking to stay ahead. Get out of the 4th inning. Here's the 0-2. I mean, everybody on the field thought that was strike 3. Instead, it's a 1-2 count. The 1-2 from Ritter. Got him looking. Strikeout number 10. Mac Ritter, you are that guy. Bruins still up 5-0. Looking for more. Back in the bottom of the fourth inning, new pitcher for Toccoa Falls. It's Drew Ellsworth, the lefty from Noonan, Georgia. Coming into today, Ellsworth has a 6.97 ERA in 20 2/3 innings pitched. Off-speed pitch, that was gorgeous. It's a 1-1 count. Prowse swings through another one for strike 2. Prowse 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles. Off-speed pitch, Prowse gets it. Weird bounce over to third base for Alexander. So Prowse is going to reach on an error. Brings up Conley Burke. Single and a double on the day. Another leadoff runner for the Bruins. Ellsworth, a lefty, has an easier move over to first base. But that one was pretty readable, especially for Kyle Prowse. First pitch to Burke was fouled off. Bruins have seen the ball really well so far tonight. Another check back. And another easy read by Kyle Prowse. The 0-1. Burke lays down a bunt, goes right back to Ellsworth. Ellsworth makes the throw over to second, or over to first. Prowse gets over to second. And a good sacrifice bunt by Conley Burke. Now runner in scoring position. Bruins looking to grow their lead here. Bryson French reached on a walk in his last at-bat. McCarron coming in really far. Off-speed pitch does not get inside enough, so it's ball 1. Miller keeping Prowse close at second. The 1-0. Ripped up the middle, and that was caught in the air and tossed over to second for a double play. Great play by Ellsworth to get that thing before hitting the ground. Maybe that might spark some energy on the offensive side for Toccoa Falls. We're headed to the top of the 5th inning. It's 5-0. Back to start the top of the 5th inning. It's Braden Alexander leading off for Toccoa Falls. As you would expect, Mac Ritter still on the mound, 10 strikeouts deep on the day. First pitch of the inning is outside. There is more energy in Toccoa Falls dugout right now. In there for strike one, 1-1 count. Umpire is going to have a talk with the third base coach for Toccoa Falls, probably about their dugout. Ritter tossing the ball around. And after a quick conference, probably not going to hear a lot more from Toccoa Falls dugout. They have been silenced by the umpire. Here's the 1-1 from Ritter. That's going to hit Alexander, and Alexander's going to take his base. It's going to bring up Will Miller, the shortstop tonight. Flew out in his first at-bat, one of very few that Ritter hasn't struck out tonight. So Alexander's going to lead off first base. Let's see if Will Miller squares for a bunt. He won't, and he'll take strike one. Ritter just has to stay controlled here. It's no 1 count. Good block by Kirkpatrick, keeps Alexander at first base. Now on 1-1. Grounded to Johnson. Johnson throws to second. Back to first. Throws not in time. But good play by Johnson to get the lead runner. And good communication between Johnson and the rest of the infield. There's one down here in the top of the 5th inning. Fielder's choice by Will Miller. Isaac Ravita steps to the plate. Great pitch by Ritter. Ritter checking back Miller to first. There is nobody, not even sitting out there in the bullpen for the Bruins. I think Morrison is wanting Ritter to go the distance. It's a 1-1 count to Ravitas. Struck out in his first at-bat, one of the 10 that Ritter has on the night. Ritter checks him back again. Now the 1-1. Burke to Gonzalez. And that throw is not going to be in time to first. But again, Bruins, great job getting the lead runner at second base. 2 down. Going to be a courtesy runner for Ravitas. That looks to be number 4, Nick Eckert, the junior from Grovetown, Georgia. Eckert only has 1 stolen base on the season. Now Davis Jennings is up. 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Both outs on fielders' choices. First pitch to Jennings is a strike. Bruins infield has been clean so far today. Here's the 0-1. Swung through for strike 2. And now an 0-2 count, 2 down in the top of the 5th inning. To get out of the inning, Ritter gets him again. He is on fire, and he is strutting off the field. 11 strikeouts on the day for Mac Ritter. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. Bruins still lead 5-0. Evan Johnson leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Bruins. Looks at ball 1. This is the kind of baseball game that Coach Morrison could have only dreamed of. It's going exactly how he wanted it to go. Still a lot of time in the game. Still a lot of time for Toccoa Falls to make some noise on offense. But as of right now, Mac Ritter seems almost unstoppable on the mound. Bruins have had several chances to add more runs than 5, but we'll settle at 5 for now. Johnson, big cut there on the breaking ball. Johnson's 2 for 2 on the day. Both singles. Both singles on very big hustle plays down the line. The 2-2 count. Another breaking ball and another good job battling it off by Johnson. Ellsworth is a primary breaking ball pitcher. The 2-2. Fastball down below the zone. Johnson forces a full count. Good quality at bat so far for Evan Johnson. Matt Carroll's on deck. Here's the full count. Off speed, grounded hard to Miller. Miller fields it over to first base, and Johnson can't beat out that throw. Good hustle still. Good play by Will Miller at shortstop for out number 1. Brings up Matt Carroll as a single and a sack bunt on the night. It's the first time he's been up to the plate without runners in scoring position. Looks at strike one. Here's the 0-1. Big cut by Carroll. Turned his head a little bit too much and now faces an 0-2 count. Bruins must stay back on these breaking balls, especially the right-handed hitters. Stays alive. Tips it back into the net. The 0-2 count. Again, another foul tip by Carroll. Carroll battling with Ellsworth. One down in the bottom of the fifth inning. Long time for Ellsworth. Now finally delivering the 0-2. Gets Carroll swinging for out number 2. Sam Gonzalez steps up to the plate with 2 down. Ground out and hit by a pitch so far today. Appeared to square to bunt to kind of try to surprise this infield. And he couldn't pull back in time, at least, is what the umpire said. The 0-1 count. Out of the zone, 1-1. The 1-1. Outside corner for strike 2. Ellsworth looking to go 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the fifth inning. 1 strike away. Here's the 1-2 from Ellsworth. In the dirt for ball 2. Both teams have done great being patient and battling with the pitchers so far tonight. The 2-2. Fouled off into the net again. It's been lots of 2-strike battles. Two count. Great pitch. That came in looking too high. Everyone on the field wanted it for Toccoa Falls, and Sam Gonzalez forces a full count. Full count, 2 down. And that one is in the dirt. Gonzalez forces a walk. Quality at bat for Sam Gonzalez. Now Angelo Gomez steps up with 2 outs. Bottom third of the lineup of Gonzalez, Gomez, and Brandt. All very good at getting contact. Could definitely do some damage with 2 outs. Gomez looks to keep it going. Outside for ball 1. Call is barked out by Coach Morrison on third base. Gonzalez might be looking to move. He stays put. Swung high and out of play for strike 1. One count. Another high pop up, and that one will also go out of play. So Ellsworth has 2 strikes on the batter again. I think the umpire needs more baseballs. So he's over at the Bruins dugout right now getting some. The pockets have been replenished. One-two count, 2 down, bottom of the 5th inning. There goes Gonzalez. It's a ball. Gonzalez is going to get there safely. 3rd stolen base on the night for the Bruins. More heads-up base running. So now a runner in scoring position. A base hit might score Gonzalez from second. Gomez facing a 2-2 count with 2 outs. In the dirt again. So another full count. Forced by a Bruins batter. Ellsworth goes slower than Rhodes, taking his time right now, trying to find the best pitch. Gets in his set. Here's the full count. Off speed, and that one's fouled out of play. Gomez staying alive. Another full count. Ellsworth is ready. He delivers. Gomez reaches for it, and that one's going to go foul. The battle continues. Gonzalez leading off second base still. Full count again. A fastball and another foul ball. Longest at bat of the night for either team. Who's going to win this battle? It's a 3-2. For the 4th time. Ellsworth delivers. Off speed. Ball outside. Quality at bat for Angelo Gomez. Now walked on a 2nd straight at bat. Brings up Zay Brandt. Bunted into a fielder's choice in his last at bat. Two runners on, 2 outs. Looking to keep this 2-out rally going. Zay Brandt just looking for contact against Ellsworth. Great pitch for strike 1. The 0-1. Grounder. I think everyone heard foul ball, but ended up being fair ball, grounded by McCarron and stepping on first base for out number 3. Everyone froze there, but when we head to the top of the 6th inning, Bruins couldn't add on to their lead, though they did make a threat with 2 outs. Charlie Compton back leading the Toccoa Falls College Screaming Eagles to start the top of the 6th inning. 2 strikeouts on the day. Ritter's gotten the best of him so far. And that one swung through for strike 1 again. Compton, one of the best hitters in the NCCAA, just struggling so far tonight to see the ball to the bat. Ritter the 0-1 count. Up out of the zone for ball 1. Here's the 1-1. In there for strike 2, another beautiful pitch. And another 2-strike count for Ritter against Charlie Compton. Looking for his 3rd strikeout against Compton. Here's the 1-2. Good spot, makes it a 2-2 count. Good take by Compton, remaining patient up there. The 2-2 count from Ritter. Got him swinging again. Ritter is just on fire tonight. Strikeout number 12. Now Connor Merritt is up, who has also struck out in both at-bats. Bunt is laid down, fielded by Ritter, thrown over to first base on a dot. He's pitching strikes and making plays. 2 down in the top of the 6th inning. Ritter can go 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Cole Smith up to bat for the Screaming Eagles. Down out of the zone for ball 1. The infield is shifted. The outfield stays put for now. Here's the 1-0. Another ball low. 2-0. Ritter shakes off a pitch and then goes. Man, he got Cole Smith ready to tee off on a pitch. It's a good shake off by Ritter there. 2-1 count. Fouled off. Now it's a 2-2 count. Ritter's recovered. And that's 2 strikes again. The 2-2 count to get out of the inning. Could this be strikeout number 13? That one's blasted. Opposite field. Zay Brandt going back on it. That's going to go off the wall. So a 2-out double by Cole Smith. Smith continues to be the only batter for the Screaming Eagles with a hit tonight. Now 2 for 3 with a single and double. Ball was just about a foot away from leaving the yard. So now a runner in scoring position for Ryan McCarron. 0 for 1 with a walk in his last at-bat. And I bet you couldn't guess how he got out in his first at-bat. That's right, a strikeout. Big cut and whiff by McCarron. It's the first time all night long Toccoa Falls has had a runner in scoring position. So now Ritter in a mini jam with 2 down. McCarron keeps his bat back, so that's going to be a ball. 2-2, or excuse me, 1-1. Now a 1-2. 1-2 count. Mac Ritter looking to get out of the inning. That one hits the dirt probably about 3 or 4 feet in front of home plate. Good read by Kirkpatrick behind the mound to get in position to block that. That couldn't have been easy. So now a 2-2 count. The 2-2 from Ritter. Blocked by Kirkpatrick again. So Smith stays put at second base. It's now a full count with 2 down. McCarron was patient enough in his last at-bat to get a walk. Looking to do the same kind of thing here. Ritter still 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Here's the full count from Ritter. That's going to hit him. So McCarron's going to take his base. Second hit batter of the night. So now runners on first and second. Kirkpatrick going to have a quick meeting with Ritter to try to calm him down. He has had 2 strikes on both Smith and McCarron in the last 2 at-bats. And hasn't been able to close it out like he has 12 times before. Now facing Peyton Powell, has struck out twice tonight. He looked at an 0-1. The 0-1 count from Ritter. In there for strike 2. So far, the talk Kirkpatrick had with Ritter has worked. Ritter way ahead of the count. 0-2. Out of the zone for ball 1. Call is timed by Powell. Ritter was taking quite some time to get a pitch from Kirkpatrick. So after a brief pause for the umpire to write down the timeout, back to it being a 1-2 count. Ritter delivers. Outside for ball 2. Patience continues for Toccoa Falls. Two count for Ritter. Blocked by Kirkpatrick and another full count. Forced by Toccoa Falls this inning. Two outs Full count. Runners will get a head start. Finds the strike zone for strike 3. He got him looking. Another one from Mac Ritter. No damage done. Score is still 5-0. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. Bruins lead. We're back here ready to start the bottom of the 6th inning. A lot has transpired in the middle of this inning, all of which include Toccoa Falls College coach being ejected from the game. There are about 3 different conversations that were had. And finally the home plate umpire had enough and told him to leave. So the energy is high on both sides. Obviously, Toccoa Falls might use this to their advantage, and that might fire them up after their coach got ejected, or the Bruins might just keep trying to stir the pot. Kirkpatrick is leading off And now facing a 1-1 count after swinging through strike one, Drew Ellsworth still on the mound for the Screaming Eagles. It's outside in the dirt for ball two. Weird bounce. Miller gets it, throws over to first base. And it's a leadoff ground out. So one down. And again, the energy inside the Toccoa Falls dugout is very high right now. Now Kyle Prouse is up. Grounded, that one gets past the diving Alexander. Prouse is going to take two. Prouse with a one-out double. And the energy has shifted right away. Prouse has reached in all four at-bats tonight, two singles, and now this double. He reached last at-bat on an error. And now it's Conley Burke. A single, a double, and sac bunt tonight. McCarron playing in at first base again. That finds the outside corner for strike one. Ellsworth going a lot quicker right now than he was just an inning ago. Delivers to Burke. Burke swings through that for strike two. Here's the 0-2 count from Ellsworth. Gets him swinging for strike three and out number two. And now it's Bryson French. Kyle Prouse leading off second still. French stays off that one for ball one. Someone just called him French toast stick in the dugout, and I nearly laughed out loud, and that's amazing. He went on that. It's a 1-1 count. French toast stick. I love that. I'm going to tell him that next time. The 1-1. Ball outside. 2-1. That breaking ball, two down in the dirt, 3-1 count, hitters count for Bryson French now. Again, a base hit will probably score Prouse. The 3-1 from Ellsworth. Fouled back into the net by French. So now a full count with two outs. Another foul ball by French. Keeps it alive. The 3-2 again from Ellsworth. In the dirt, ball four. French takes a walk. His second walk of the day. And now Evan Johnson 2 for 3, two singles and a ground out. And Toccoa Falls is going to go to the bullpen. Ellsworth, quality outing for Toccoa Falls. Gets an applause from his teammates and Toccoa Falls fans that are here. Did very well coming out of the pen. And we're going to take a break with this pitching change. We'll be back right after he warms up. It's Noah Lind now on the mound for the Screaming Eagles to try to get out of this bottom of the 6th inning. Lind is a junior from Anderson, South Carolina, so just right up the road. Facing Evan Johnson. Kyle Prouse leading off second base. Bryson French leading off first. Left field is shallow. Here's the first pitch to Johnson, maybe after a while. Up and out of the zone for ball 1. Noah Lind in his 18 1/3 innings pitched has an 11.29 ERA. Big swing by Johnson. That one's going to get down, and that one's going to score a run. Prouse is headed home, and Prouse is going to score. Johnson pushing 2. Johnson with a double. It's 6-0. That's the kind of cut that Coach Morrison's been looking for out of Evan Johnson for a while. Short swing, get the hands through, drive something to the outfield. Is exactly what Evan Johnson has been wanting to do. Now runners on second and third. Just heard from the dugout. Nobody better in this position, and I could not agree more. Carroll has the best batting average on the team with runners in scoring position. He has 2 of them here. Can extend the lead. First pitch by Lind to Carroll. In the dirt. Ravitas blocks it. Bryson French on third. Evan Johnson on second. The 1-0 from Lind. In there for strike 1. Here's the 1-1. Carroll thought about it, brought his bat back, but not in time. It's a 1-2 count. Now Lind has a chance to get out of the inning here. 1-2, 2 down. Runners on second and third. Lind delivers. That's a shot to left field, and it goes foul. Turned a little bit too early on that swing. Carroll was all over that pitch. So in this case, Lind still has some life in this at-bat. It's a 1-2 count again. Carroll keeps his bat back. It's a 2-2 count. Good bat control by Carroll on that. 2-2. 2 down. That's a grounder. That one's going to get past. Another run. Johnson coming in to score. Will Johnson get there in time? He will. It's 8-0. Huge for the Bruins. Energy is getting higher on the Bruins side and lower on the Screaming Eagles side. Still 2 outs. Another runner in scoring position here. Sam Gonzalez looking to keep it going. Gonzalez looks at strike 1. Here's the 0-1 from Lind. In the dirt. Again, good block by Ravitas behind the plate. Pierce Molinax out in the bullpen for the Screaming Eagles. It's a 1-1 count. Carroll leading off of second base. Tipped. And now a 1-2 count. The 1-2 count again. That one hit the dirt early. Bryson French read it like a book, and French is at third. Excuse me, Carroll. Carroll's at third. Not entirely sure why Bryson French was in my mind there. 2-2 count. Matt Carroll at third base. Just 90 feet away from making this 9-0. Gonzalez stays alive and goes out of play. Two count again. That nearly hits the face of Sam Gonzalez. Had to get out of the way of that one and forces a full count. He was walked in his last at bat, hit by a pitch before that. The full count from Lind is high out of the zone, and the inning continues for the Bruins offense. Runners now in the corners for Angelo Gomez. He's been walked in back-to-back at-bats. And it looks like we're going to have another pitching change. This is interesting, especially heading into a weekend series. 2 more games tomorrow. You got to wonder how many more arms Toccoa Falls has to throw. So Lind will exit. And it's going to be Molinax coming in. Freshman from Cartersville, Georgia, put into a sticky situation here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back after the change. Molinax on the season. 5 1/3 innings pitched. 9 earned runs allowed. 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. And that doesn't add up to a good ERA of 15.19. Put in here in a very difficult situation Runners on the corners, 2 down. So he only needs 1 out to get out of this, but he faces Angelo Gomez here. Gomez rips that one to shortstop. Great scoop by Miller. The thrower to first base is there in time. So all it takes is 1 pitch from Molnax to get out of the inning. The Bruins score some more. It's 8-0. We're headed to the top of the 7th. Braden Alexander leading off the top of the 7th inning. Mac Ritter still on the mound, still trying some more. There's strike 1. It's a 1-1 count to Alexander. There is finally people at least in the bullpen. They're not quite warming up, but they're sitting out there. First time all night. That one's a leadoff single by Braden Alexander. His first hit, team's 3rd hit of the night. So now it's Will Miller, who made a great play to end the bottom of the 6th inning on that scoop off the line drive by Gomez. Looks at strike 1. It's an 0-1 count. Hit into a fielder's choice in his last at bat, where the Bruins were able to get the lead runner, which was Alexander after he got hit by a pitch. Ripped. And Gonzalez can't get a handle on it, so 2 leadoff runners for Toccoa Falls. They're trying to spark something late here in the game. So Kirkpatrick will have a meeting on the mound. This worked last time. Trying to calm Ritter down after giving up a couple base runners. Conley Burke will be involved, probably just for some encouragement. He's one of the captains and leaders on the team. Isaac Ravitas up. None down here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 runners on. The biggest threat Toccoa Falls has had all game long so far. Look to capitalize on this and get some runs. Squared a bunt. That one's going to be laid down. Great bunt. And he's going to get the lead runner. Great heads-up play by Ritter on where Alexander was. So we got 1 down. I mean, when it comes to sacrifice bunts and moving over runners, that was a great spot for that. It was a great spot for the bunt. It's just Ritter made an incredible play, heads-up play, knowing he can get the runner at third in time. So the courtesy runner will come in again. Nick Eckert coming in to run for Ravitas. So now one down, top of the 7th inning. Runners on first and second again. Great pitch, off-speed pitch by Mac Ritter for strike one. Up against Davis Jennings. Out of the zone for ball one. Each time Ritter has given up a couple base runners, he's gotten back in the zone and not allowed anything more. It's a 1-1. Fouled back into the net. Now a 1-2 count. Bruins with a pretty comfortable 8-0 lead right now, but obviously everyone watching here right now has watched enough baseball to know that 8 outs is a lot of outs to get to close out a game. That's what the Bruins need here. That one is hit to right field. Kyle Prouse going back. Kyle Prouse won't get there in time. It goes down. This is what I'm talking about. Runner around third. And only one run will score. But now runners on second and third on the RBI double by Davis Jennings. Runners on second and third, one down. First run given up all night long by Mac Ritter. And that'll ignite someone warming up in the bullpen. Ball outside. It's a 1-0 count. It looks to be Curtis West warming up in the bullpen. The 1-0. Swung through by Compton. Ritter has had complete control of Compton so far today. Struck him out 3 times. Looking for a fourth here, but Compton in a good spot here with 2 runners on. That one slapped through the infield. At least one will score. There will be a play at the plate. Brandt's throw to Burke is cut off. And that's a 2 RBI single. It's 8-3. That's what Charlie Compton does. So Toccoa Falls battling back. There's still only 1 out in the 7th inning. Coach Rulapaw is going to come out of the dugout, and they're going to have a brief meeting on the mound. I don't think he's getting pulled right now, but things are starting to slow down for Mac Ritter. The last time these two teams played was in the regional tournament last season, where the Bruins jumped out to a 4-0 lead, but ended up giving up 7 unanswered runs. Big 5th inning by the Screaming Eagles to take the lead, scoring 6 runs. And the Screaming Eagles won 7-4. Similar story here, but double the score. Bruins got out to an 8-0 lead. And Screaming Eagles are trying to battle back in this very slowly. I mean, I say slowly, like they have a lot of time is what I mean. It's 8-3, 1 down here in the top of the 7th inning. Ritter's still on the mound. Compton leading off first base. And Connor Merritt up at the plate. That one's in there for strike 1. Compton is second on the team with 5 stolen bases on the season. That's quite the long stride when he runs. While I was prepping for this game, I'm a Red Sox fan, so he's a lot like Jarren Duran in my head, just with the height, the hitting ability, and the running, also an outfielder. That one's a dribbler. That one's going to be off the foot of Merritt. So now it's a 1-2 count. Ritter up again in the count. Ritter delivers the 1-2. Slap to right field. It's foul. Just barely. Compton was almost to third base. By the time that thing would have been fielded, he could have pushed for home if it landed fair. The 1-2 count again. Ritter delivers up out of the zone for ball 2. That one's a little bloop shot, and that one's going to get over. It's going to move Compton up to second. And Merritt gets the first. It's another single. It's 3 straight hits for Toccoa Falls. Brings up Cole Smith, and before this past inning, Smith has been the only one to really find the ball off of Ritter's hand. He's 2 for 3 on the day with a single and a double. Big cut by Smith. It's a miss for strike 1. Down in the dirt, blocked by Kirkpatrick. Keeps the runners put. Ritter is slowing down a little bit. He just needs to get out of this inning here. No more damage. It's a 1-1. It's fouled for strike 2. Another 1-2 count. Ritter has had 2 strikes on each of the last 4 batters. It's only resulted in 1 out. Ritter delivers. Hit to right field. That's shallow. Sam Gonzalez will go back from second base and grab it for out number 2. So now there's finally 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. Ryan McCarron hit by a pitch and walked in his last 2 at-bats. One 0 count. The 1-0. Ball outside, 2-0. Peyton Powell is on deck. Powell has struck out 3 times. The 2-0 from Ritter. Doesn't find the zone. It's only the second 3-0 count Ritter's had all night long. On the first 3-0 count, he battled back for a strikeout. And that one's up out of the zone for a 4-pitch walk. Loads the bases for Peyton Powell. Still 2 down, still top 7. It was Powell's strikeout in his last at-bat that led to the ejection of the Screaming Eagles coach. So Powell might have some fire under him. One swing can completely flip this game on its head. That pitch gets away from Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick's not going to get there in time. It's 8-4, and the runners all move up. Pressure is getting bigger on the Bruins right now to get out of this top of 7. And the energy is coming back for Toccoa Falls. It's a 2-0 count. One swing could make this a 1-run game. A base hit can make it a 2-run game. The 2-0 finds the outside corner for strike 1. 2-1 count. The 2-1. In there for strike 2. This will be a massive strikeout here if he can get out of this inning and keep the Bruins with a 4-run lead. Two-two count from Ritter. Gets some swinging for strikeout number 14 on the day. Toccoa Falls battles for 4 runs. Cuts the lead in half. We're headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 8-4. We're here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Molinak's back on the mound for Toccoa Falls. It only took one pitch for him in the bottom of the 6th inning to get out of a jam. And now he's welcoming Zay Brandt to the plate. Toccoa Falls a lot closer now than they were at this point last inning. It's 8-4. And we'll get 4 runs off of Ritter in the top of the 7th inning. All lights are on this field at Conestee Park right now. 0-1. Fouled off. Quick 0-2 count. Molinax ahead in the count already. Here's the 0-2 to Brandt. Down in the dirt for ball one. Cody Kirkpatrick is on deck. Top of the order for the Bruins. Has struggled since having a leadoff single on the night. 0 for 3 since then. Brandt still without a hit as well. Stays patient, 2-2 count. Molinax is ready to deliver the 2-2. Outside for ball 3. So Brandt has taken 3 straight balls, forcing a full count as a leadoff batter in the bottom of the 7th inning. The full count. Swung through by Brandt. Molinax sticks in there, strikes out Brandt for out number 1. And now Kirkpatrick up. Again, 0 for 3 since getting a leadoff single to start the night. Tried to turn on an inside pitch, misses for strike 1. The 0-1 count. Hit foul. It's going to be an 0-2 count. 0-2 count to Kirkpatrick. He looks at it for strike 3. Molinax with 2 straight strikeouts to start the 7th inning. Brings up Kyle Prouse. He has reached base on every at-bat, 3 for 3. 2 singles and a double, and he reached on an error. With 2 outs, Bruins were able to score 3 runs with 2 outs last inning. Could use the same result here to get a little bit more comfortable in this game. It's getting tense here at Conestee Park. The 0-1 count. Fouled off, 0-2 count. Molinax has had an 0-2 count in each of the 3 batters he has seen here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The energy is shifting again toward Toccoa Falls. Molinax delivers the 0-2. Down, out of the zone for ball 1. And now the 1-2 count for Molinax. Great spot and great take by Prouse. It's another pitch that a lot of people would have a hard time not swinging at. The 2-2 now to Molinax. Fouled off. Two-two count again to Prouse. Breaking ball. Prouse sticks with it. Blooper to right field. And Powell comes in and grabs it for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. It's exactly what the Screaming Eagles need. And we head to the top of the 8th inning. Screaming Eagles look to make this one even closer. Back here to start the top of the 8th inning, and something is different than it's been all night long, and it's Mac Ritter not being on the mound. So his day is done after 7 innings, 14 strikeouts on the night for Mac Ritter. And now we're seeing the certified closer of this year's Bruins team, Gabe Swarms, on the mound now to try to close out the last 2 innings for the Bruins. Toccoa Falls has battled back. They're back within 4 runs, which is very gettable here in the final 2 innings. Swarms, though, is looking to shut them down. 1-0 count to Braden Alexander. Alexander was the one that started the run last inning. Alexander represents the first run scored for Toccoa Falls on the night. It's a 2-0 count. Swarms finally gets a strike in there. 2-1 count. Two-one count from Swarms. In there for strike 2. So after 2 balls to start the night, 2 strikes follow. Swarms delivers. Chopper. Gomez staying back on it. Gomez's throw. The first base is in time. What a play by Angelo Gomez. Risky staying back on a chopper like that, but he unleashed a rocket to first base. One down in the top of the 8th inning. Brings up Will Miller. Singled in his last at-bat. In there for strike 1. The 0-1 count. Great pitch for strike 2. Swarms looking to close out Will Miller. Ball out and up. 1-2 count. I'm talking to Coach Morrison this morning. He said that he would, in a perfect world, love to only have 2 pitchers tonight. Mac Ritter and whoever would follow. So right now we're following suit to that dream. Here's a 1-2 count from Swarms. In there for strike 3. Found the outside corner to 2 down in the top of the 8th inning. Now Isaac Ravitas. He is hit into a fielder's choice in his last 2 at-bats. Great pitch for strike 1. Swarms may have found his rhythm. And he's ready to go again. Fouled back for strike 2. 1 strike away from going 3 up, 3 down, and taking the energy back from Toccoa Falls. The 0-2 count from Swarms, up in the air for ball 1. One-two count now. Ravitas has to battle to keep this inning going for Toccoa Falls. Swarms delivers in the dirt. 2-2. Both Gomez and Gonzalez at the edge of the grass, giving themselves some room for any grounders that might go around them. The 2-2 count. Down out of the zone again. So another patient at bat for Toccoa Falls, and Ravitas forces a full count. Full count, 2 down. Here's Swarms. Popped up into the air. That one's making its way over to the stands. Johnson ran out of room. So we'll do this full count thing again. Three-two, 2 down, top 8. Swarms delivers, and that one's too far inside, so it's a 2-out walk for Isaac Ravitas. It's these kind of free bases that have killed the Bruins all season long. Eckert comes on to run again. He's had a busy day. 3rd time he's gotten on base. It's a run for Ravitas. Davis Jennings looking to keep it going for Toccoa Falls with Eckert leading off at first base. Jennings, double in his last at-bat. 2 runs scoring on that. That one bounced way in front of the plate. Blocked by Kirkpatrick at the 2-0 count. Another ball from Swarms. It's 3-0 very quickly. Has to do everything in his power to not give up another free base. That one's in there for strike 1. Gets encouragement from his from his dugout. More like that. The 3-1. Up out of the zone for another walk. Back-to-back 2-out walks, and that's going to make Cooch Rulapal come out and have a quick conversation. 2 straight free bases for Toccoa Falls with Charlie Compton stepping to the plate. This is not who you want to see in a situation like this. Finally broke through with a base hit in his last at-bat. Scored a run. So he's 1 for 4 on the day. And just according to statistics, he's probably going to go 2 for 5. Unless Swarms can get under control here and get a very clutch out. So after 2 very quick outs here in the top of the 8th inning, 2 straight walks, brings up the best hitter in the NCCAA. Charlie Compton with a moonshot on his mind. Could change this game with 1 swing. up against Gabe Swarms. 2 down. Top of the 8th inning. Looks at that one down. Another ball by Swarms. Eckert didn't read it off the hand. Potentially could have taken third base, but didn't get a jump. Swarms has to find his rhythm again. The 1-0 to Compton. Ball outside, 2-0. Two guys warming up in the bullpen for the Bruins. Inside, a quick 3-0 count again. With Swarm struggling as of late in the last couple of batters, Compton might actually take this 3-0 pitch. Otherwise, I think he would have a green light. Here's the 3-0. Ball outside, another walk. 3 straight walks, loads the bases with 2 outs. It looks like Swarms is going to stay on. Now Connor Merritt. Singled in his last at-bat. 1 for 4 on the day. Again, all Swarms and the Bruins need is 1 out to get out of this inning without giving up a run. Force out everywhere on the field. And now Swarms faces Merritt. Inside. The 1-0. Another ball. The 2-0. Swarms just needs a strike. That one's up out of the zone. 9th ball in a row. A walk here scores a run and brings it within 3. Swarms pitches a strike. That's the one he's needed for quite some time. 3-1 count. The 3-1 to Merritt. Inside for ball 4. Another walk. 4 straight walks. It's 8-5, and that's going to bring Coach Morrison out of the dugout. And he might turn to his pen. And he will. So one swing here from Cole Smith can give the Screaming Eagles the lead. Think about that. How crazy would that be? So Coach Morrison is making a defensive change somewhere. I'm not sure who's going where yet, but it appears that Swarms might be staying on the field. And the ball is going in Conley Burke's glove. So Conley Burke's going to be on the mound, I believe, for the first time all season. This is the first time Conley Burke has taken the mound all season long. Gabe Swarms goes to third base, and everyone else stays put. So we'll be back after this change. How's this for a first appearance on the mound for Conley Burke on the season? Bases are loaded. There are 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. Cole Smith, a man with a lot of power up to the plate. Bruins lead by 3. After 4 straight walks, Swarms moves to third base. First pitch by Burke. It's fouled off for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 from Burke. Popped up very high. Shallow left field. Gomez gets it for the 3rd out. Bruins only allow 1 run in all of that. Still lead by 3. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-5. Conley Burke. Conley Burke leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. Almost got a line drive to start. Looks at a ball. It's a 1-1 count. Now looks at a 1-2 count. So after Burke came in to pitch for the first time in the season and closing out that inning, now up to plate here. Looks at the ball outside. Two count. Molinak still on the mound. Swings at that one. That's a line drive over the glove of Alexander. That's going to get him at least 2 bases. Leadoff double by Conley Burke. Second double of the day. He's a pitcher and a hitter. And so that might be the day for Molinax as well. Toccoa Falls using arm number 5 upcoming. Gabe Swarms is going to stick in the batting order. He's going to bat in place of DH Bryson French. So he's on deck, waiting for the end of this pitching change. We'll be back after the change. Gabe Swarms now up to the plate against Luke Pruitt, the 5th arm of the day for Toccoa Falls. McCarron playing in at first base, squaring the bunt. The throw to second. Not in time. Burke gets back. Swarms does pull his bat back. It's a 1-0 count. Pruitt on the season, 8.31 ERA, 21 2/3 innings pitched. The 1-0 count, he squares again, pulls it back again. 2-0 count. I don't know what pitch he called a strike, but it's a 1-1 count. Lays that one down, but it goes foul, so it's a 1-2 count. One-two count now. I don't think Swarms is going to bunt anymore. Burke is still on second base. Evan Johnson on deck. The 1-2 from Pruitt. He will Lay down a bunt, back to Pruitt. Pruitt over to first base, and it moves Burke to third. So successful sack bunt, risky one with 2 strikes for Gabe Swarms. And now Evan Johnson, he's been hot tonight, 3 for 4. Infield is in. They're going to do everything in their power to keep Conley Burke from scoring. Off-speed pitch by Pruitt, 2 overhead, 1-0 count. Here's the 1-0. Big cut by Johnson. Getting encouragement from Morrison to do his job, like he's done so far tonight. 1-1. Hit back into the net to 1-2. Again, Bruins still leading by 3 runs, regardless. But they would love to have some more headed to the top of the 9th inning. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off, out of play again. Count stays 1-2. The bats have been warming up, and the at-bats have gotten better for the Toccoa Falls Screaming Eagles. So, top of the 9th might get interesting. That one's blocked by Revidis. Wow, I'm going to try that one again. Revidis, there we go. It's getting colder out here, so it's harder to talk. 2-2 count. The battle continues. That's a grounder. Got by Alexander. Keeps Burke at third base and gets Johnson out at first base. So now Matt Carroll steps to the plate. Carroll had a double in his last at-bat. Again, probably the best possible hitter to be up right now with a runner in scoring position. 2 down, bottom of 8. Carroll swinging for the moon. Coach Morrison says enough of that. Carroll just needs a base hit. Here's the 0-1. Big cut again. Tipped into the glove for an 0-2 count. Pruitt has done his job so far and can close it out here and give Toccoa Falls the most hope of catching up. Up and out of the zone. Carroll thought about it. One-two count from Pruitt. Up and out of the zone again. 2-2. The battle continues. Here's a 2-2. Carroll thought about it, but stays back and takes it. Forces another full count. So many full count at-bats tonight on both sides. That's disciplined baseball right there. Here's the 3-2, 2 down. High in the air. McCarron is under it. McCarron will grab it for out number 3. So to the 9th inning we go. Hope is brewing for the Screaming Eagles. They're only down 3, where they were once down 8. Let's see if the Bruins can close it out tonight. Top of the 9th inning. Here we go. Ryan McCarron leading off for Toccoa Falls. Bruins need 3 outs. They once led 8-0, now only 8-5. Toccoa Falls offense has gotten some energy in the last couple of innings. Conley Burke starts it with a strike. Again, this is Conley's first appearance on the mound on the season. An 0-1 count. Fouled off for an 0-2. And I would like to know, Burke barely ever pitches. It's not that he just hasn't pitched this season. He's barely pitched in his whole career at Bob Jones. But again, his leadership and discipline put him on the mound here tonight. Here's the 0-2. Gets him swinging! Conley Burke strikes out. McCarron for out number 1. And now it's Jeremiah Campbell pinch hitting. Number 37, the junior from Snellville, Georgia, pinch hitting for Toccoa Falls. That's up out of the zone. He's batting in place of Peyton Powell, who is 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts on the day. So coaches need someone that they know can have a better chance of hitting it. So they call on Campbell. Looks at strike 1. 2-1 count. Off speed, 3-1 count. Great pitch. Burke forces a full count against Campbell. The full count from Burke. Gets him swinging again. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts here in the top of the 9th inning. And now Braden Alexander is up. Toccoa falls down to their last out. Up and out of the zone for ball 1. The 1-0. Up out of the zone enough where Kirkpatrick couldn't even go up and get it. 2-0 count. Most of the runs scored tonight by Toccoa Falls have been with 2 outs, so they have the ability to get something going. But they're down to their last out. That one's in there for strike 1, 2-1 count. Getting game 1 is huge in this kind of series. Especially in the South region, it's a 2-2 count. Burke 1 strike away from closing it out. This is for game 1 of the weekend series here at Conestee Park. Burke strikes out 3 in a row and closes it out. The Bruins win 8-5 in game 1 against Toccoa Falls College. This turned into a thrilling game between South Region opponents. Toccoa Falls tried to battle back, but the Bruins get the best of them here tonight at Conestee Park. My name is Trenton Goldsmith, signing off for now. I'll be back tomorrow as these 2 teams go again in a doubleheader. Good night, everybody.